What's going on, guys? Blake Morse here for Week in Geek, and I am talking with Tim Browne, and he is the lead on Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag multiplayer. How you doing today, Tim?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So I just got some hands-on time with the multiplayer. It feels very similar to 3, which I thought honestly was like the best of the series as far as multiplayer was concerned. How do you take something that isn't broke and fix it? I guess is what I'm curious about. Like, what are you guys doing with Assassin's Creed 4 to improve upon what was already like a pretty robust multiplayer?
Okay, well, thank you for the compliments, first of all. That's very kind. But yeah, one of the things we did focus on this year was just looking at improvements. How can we streamline certain things, make menus better, make the game better for players in general? And make the game a little more accessible in some aspects. We did loads and loads of improvements, talking to the community, talking on forums, listening to Twitter, and loads of feedback from the community has really, really helped make what was already a really solid, robust game, like you say, into something even more.
Now, what was one of the loudest things that you heard from the community that you guys have fixed up for Assassin's Creed 4?
Okay, for things fixing up, we've been working on connection issues, stability issues, things like that, which we've been working on. We'll continue working on that kind of thing. It's one of those things that you can always try and improve on. But one of the new features, for example, is Game Lab, which you've experienced and seen. And this is something that's kind of come from lots of feedback over multiple years. Often players are like, oh, I like this ability, but I don't think it's balanced, or that kind of thing. I wish you got rid of that ability. And we decided, what if we gave the player the ability to choose what abilities they can use, what they can't use? And then we said, well, let's let the player, let's put the power in the player's hands. Let's make them the designer. So Game Lab allows them to create their own modes using the templates. So it's not just abilities, they can set their own scoring, they can do all sorts of things to create their own modes. And then not only that, we were like, okay, how can we do even more with it? And then what we did was we said it would be really cool if we looked at the modes that they create, which are the most popular, and then we're going to push those out to the public so everyone can play. So effectively, the community can create modes that they really like. The most popular ones will be pushed out, and people will be playing games made by players, which is like really, really cool. We're really excited about that.
Let's talk a little bit about the customization features. Like, how am I going to be able to pimp out my character?
Yeah, so customization was very popular in AC3. It's something that we've been building up on over all the yearly iterations, and this year is not going to be any exception. In fact, we're giving even more customization this year. So we're bringing back costumes. These were like the full-on, totally different costumes for the players to wear. But then we're allowing customization of those costumes, which is something that you couldn't do in AC3. So you're going to be able to change all sorts of things like different gear and hats and stuff like that. You have all sorts of content that won't necessarily be out straight away at launch as well. So we're planning on doing a lot of support post-launch as well, which we're really excited about. So yes, huge amounts of customization, because we know players really want to make like a character that they feel connected with, that they can if you want to be the drunken pirate, you can make the drunken pirate, but then if you want him to have an eye patch, you might be able to put in eye patches or scars or things like that. So yeah, we wanted players to really go nuts with the characters this year.
Nice. Now, are there going to be any new perks or abilities for multiplayer?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some new perks and new abilities. One of the new abilities you were playing with earlier on is Time Phase, which is this cool sort of trap. You can use it offensively and defensively. Effectively, what you do is you drop it down. It creates this kind of bubble of slowed time, but you or your teammates aren't affected by it. So it's great because you can throw it in to really confuse people and affect them in a team mode, for example, and then your team runs in and catches them. Or you can use it a bit like a mobile chase breaker. So someone's chasing you, you drop it down, it's going to slow them down, it's going to give you a few extra few extra seconds of time to just get away, hide, use another ability like disguise, and lure them into a trap or something like that. So that's one of the new abilities. We've got some new ranged abilities as well. There is what's known as sabotage, which is a really cool mess with the other player ability. So what you do is you hit someone with sabotage, and when they go to use an ability, there's a time on it. If they go to use an ability and they're still affected by the sabotage, it stops that ability from working just for a short period of time.
All right. Well, Tim, thank you so much for talking with us today. Obviously, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is coming out on a ton of different consoles, as we already mentioned. And when's it going to be launching here in America?
It's coming out on the 29th of October in North America.
All right in time for Halloween. I'll get my pirate flag in the collector's edition. I'll be able to like put it up on a post and run around like stabbing people in the back and taking their candy.
Awesome. Sounds great to me.
All right. Excellent.